It's about 9 a.m. on Saturday, June 1st, 2024. It's getting kind of warm. This morning it was 70 something with 80% humidity. It's probably 80 something now with the high humidity as well. They really didn't graze as much as I anticipated. Hey, Blackie. I gave them a little extra room and I made the row wider, so 30% wider. I'm just going to get in the shade here and cool off a little bit. Also, I needed to look at the grass. Yeah, it looks like they skipped a lot of grass, which is what I wanted to do. I didn't want them to graze aggressively on the bermuda grass, which is just now growing. So, oh, that's better. It's kind of nice under here. So, yeah, the manure is starting to pile up. Oh, that's not a good sign. That's too much manure. It's too high. I might need to pull out some protein. And yet, some of the manure looks kind of runny. So one of my cows has scours. That's a perfect patty right there. It's a beautiful patty. Anyway, so the goal right now is not to disturb too much the new summer grass. Just give it a chance to grow. Let the cows eat the good stuff. I'm not really too concerned about getting rid of the spring grass. It does a pretty good job of getting rid of itself. And there's grasses out here that I'm not very familiar with. These thicker, longer blades. Not really sure what that is. Once it gets a seed head, I'll be able to tell you what it is. There's a good chance it's Dallas grass. Dallas grass isn't too bad. It's not the best forage. It's not the worst either. But it's pretty hardy stuff. So, somebody commented that my cows look malnourished. I don't see it, so if you'd be more specific about what you're talking about. The signs that I'm looking at are the left side triangles filled in, which they are on this number 6. And also if their body condition on the American scale is at least a 4 or 5, which means you might be able to see some ribs. That doesn't sound healthy. Let me go look at what that is. Yeah, that's a little bit lighter than I'd like, or thinner. All right, so the body condition 4 is when you can start to see the ribs, and a 5 is when you can't see the ribs. So that's kind of that's about where they're at. Number 24 is really thin, obviously. She's always been thin. But as soon as her calf is weaned, she's gone. I'm done with her. I got to get rid of some of these cows, make room for sheep and more cows. Or other cows rather. So number 11's looking pretty good. I don't feed them anything except forage and minerals. I buy the 12-12, I think is what it is. I don't pay too much attention to the minerals. I'm hopeful that as the pasture regenerates, the soil regenerates, that we'll have more minerals available in the forage. So that's kind of the goal with the minerals, is I really don't want to feed minerals. Gabe Brown doesn't feed minerals, right? He trusts the soil to do the right thing in the cows, to find the right weeds to supplement their diet so they get a balanced diet. I watched a video last night. It only has like 400 views, but the guy kind of covered the stocker operation, how the market works and such. And some of the things that stood out to me is people pay attention to the color of the cows and the shape of the ears, because certain crossbreeds do better in terms of putting on weight quickly. And so stockers tend to look for those calves, because they're trying to look for easy money. Can't blame them. That's what I'm trying to do here too, right? The other thing they're looking at is they don't want calves that are too fat, right? They want calves that are, let's see, they call it fill, which is if their bellies are full of water and food. And they call it flesh if they have fat and they have lots of developed muscles. They want skinny calves. Skinny calves, you feed them and they get fat, right? So you get better price per pound for skinny calves than you do for fleshy calves, right? So that's something else to think about. Is this part of the operation is not about making the cows fat. It's not about making the calves fat. It's about making calves, getting them a good start with lots of nutrition, keeping them on their mamas for as long as I can, get as much milk as nutrients as they can out of the mamas, and then setting them up for sale to a stockyard where they're going to take the calves for a year or so and get them big, you know. And then once that's done, then they take them to a feedlot where they finish them off. After a couple months, they fatten them up and finish them off, right? Now, long term, I'm planning on doing my own stocking and my own finishing, right? Do grass finished. So what that means is I'm going to keep all the steer back. I'm not going to sell them. I'll sell the heifers. But I'll keep all the steer back and then try to finish them on grain here in the pasture. I think I should be able to get more money doing that than selling calves, right? And the other nice thing about a stocker business is in a drought, you can sell your stockers any day of the week, right? They're always valuable. There's always somebody looking to buy more. And so I can just take them any day of the week and sell them. With the cow-calf pairs, when they got a young calf on them, they're not as easy to sell, you know. Cow-calf operation has certain risks, but those risks aren't like market risks, right? If the market goes up or down, it really doesn't matter that too much to us because our bottom line is zero, right? If we're doing it right, we're not spending any money to get calves, right? Maybe a little bit on hay, a little bit on labor, right? So it should be just pure profit, right? So if the price falls 30%, then our profit falls 30%, you know. Whereas the stockers, they're playing a margin game, right? If they buy a stocker, a calf, and 1 year later the price falls, they could lose money, right? Us cow-calf guys, we won't lose money. Now the only risk that we really have is in a drought. It's hard for us to get rid of our cows. Nobody wants cows in a drought, right? And if we sell the calves at the wrong time, we lose out on potential profits, right? And so with the drought plan, you need a drought plan. And the drought plan for me is have stockers on hand that I can sell quickly when I sense that there's a drought on the way, so that I don't have to sell my cows to stay alive, right? My biggest threat is overgrazing. If I have too many animals on too little land and there just isn't the forage and I send them out there to graze, they'll destroy the land. It'll take years for me to get the forage back, right? So that's what I'm thinking about. Anyway, just some notes, things I've been thinking about. Have a great day, everybody. Take care and bye-bye.